Okay, so I just came up with this diagram to actually visualize how the entire process of WebSocket actually works. On making use of Django channels. I think precisely just about any notification system, this use case can actually work. All right. Now, I'm just gonna simply just go ahead with the conventional user interface triggers for WebSocket. Basically, in this case now, the user, will make an interaction on the user interface, and that user interface will go to the notification channels. These channels, yeah, is for notification. You can have the channels for messaging, for private messaging. You can have the channels for public forums. You can have channels for just about anything that is uniquely tied to a particular table on the database. So once the interaction on the user interface is made, it goes to the notification channel, basically everything, checks and all that. So the unique ID tied to a particular user, in this case user 1, okay, will go to the notification channel and go to that unique user right here. And I also want you to note that that data will be stored on the database. So this is a use case here. We have a user ID, which will be the primary key, will be 1, and the user ID in this case, which is for user 1, will be the foreign key, user 1, and then we have our actions. I'll just rename that to 323 because I had this recording as something went wrong. So this will be 111 and at this ID, and then it will be indicated as false, and this will become the first notification right here. I'll just delete all of this so that it will make more sense. Proceed. So this will now be notification 1 in this case. Then once the interaction on the front end executes again for something uniquely different, it will go same thing to the notification channel. There will be a thread that will save to the database, and it will send to notification, okay, for user 1, like so. Maybe let's see a different action. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste this right here. This will get messy. This will be ID2, and this will now be different action altogether, 222. Okay, so if for any reason user 2 isn't online, whenever it comes online, this 2 notification will come up and show here. So whenever he clicks the notification 1, it will point to this action, and note that the query is via the user ID. So user ID is querying through user ID field, and each action will be spread out evenly. Now the next thing, if the user interface is maybe trickled or something, or maybe product is liked or whatever happens here, same thing happens again. It goes to notification channel, and now it goes to the user screen here. Maybe there will be a sound, there will be a beep or whatever, and this will now be notification 1 notification from this user interface, and that will also be saved on the database. We'll call this 333 in this case, cause we call this 323 in this case because it is a different action that was executed. But however, this is where it gets interesting. Let's say, for example, in the course of this action, let's say there was like a unique let's say there was something else inside of this action 3 that will maybe it's kind of different from the previous action created. Alright, so if that initialization hits the user interface, it comes to notification, it stores here, but it is still technically under this guy right here. But maybe let's say maybe let's say you had a difference in interaction. There will probably be another field to discuss about whatever came from the user interface, but it is still, sorry, I forgot to change this ID to 3. Sorry for that confusion. And that will be 3 right here, and this will be 4. But it's still the same action. Probably there's another field that will point to you what makes this field unique, and it will come here. But instead of having to create a unique notification, it is just going to be 2 notifications. approval. So just twist that up to make that look good. So this is just basically an overview of how the notification system works. So let's say, for example, now the user maybe comes to interact with user one or something like that. They like the particular product or sent a message or whatever. It will repeat the same process, but however, it will now be tied to this user right here. So you come to notification channel, it will save on the DB. Just copy this like so. This will be the same thing 3, but the user ID will no longer be underscore 1, but in this case it will be 2. The actions can still, whatever actions you want to execute, it doesn't really matter, but this is tied to this user, and the user will get 1 notification. So that is just it. If you send another info to user 3 and all that, will come here and it will, this is supposed to be 5. So the same thing happens here, and this will be 6, and then we have 3. So this is just how the entire thing works. Now mind you, for you to get like this notification crunch up here, you have to query the database. I think I'll probably say it's called aggregate. Let's see, check this out, the full screen. Alright, so I beg your pardon, that the order by in the Django models. So this is a use case right here. Let me adjust this up a bit so that very visible. So this is a use case here where you query the notification table, object filter, user ID, the request ID. Then you have to filter by the action and any other field that you feel will be really optimized for crunching the queries. So you have to query through the actions, and once you do the filter on your front end, you just need to check if the actions of the previous matches the actions of the current. Then once it does, you increase the notification, in this case like we have there. So the amount of actions that matches the previous actions will accumulate to this notification. This is usually very easy in the front end, but I guess in Django templating you just need to hack your way around that. But I think it's pretty solvable. You just need to just make do with the previous index and find the action and see if it matches. If it matches, the notification here increases, increments rather. So this is just a simple overview of how to come up with a system design for notification system with Django channels. I hope this was helpful. Please do leave feedbacks to these videos, and if it worked for you, I would like to know, and if it doesn't, I would like to see your challenges so that we could find a way around it. Thank you so much, and do have a nice day.